What is up, family? It's your boy Dreclipperhands. Welcome to my channel, and today we are going to be doing a mid fade into the curl length that he has on top. And before starting a cut, you always want to comb through the hair, make sure it's laying nicely in the position that it wants to grow in naturally. So that's what I'm doing here, just stretching out his curls, combing down the sides. And since this is his first haircut out of quarantine, he has a lot of hair. So what we're gonna do is clear some space with our 2-guard all the way open. This is just making a nice clean canvas so we can start our fading process. And I'm making sure that I'm not going too high and I'm flicking out. And we're gonna go ahead and do that all the way around the head. And I especially don't want to go too far up in the back because we are gonna drop the fade a little bit just so it fits his head a little bit better. Now to start off my fading process, I'm going to start my bald line right where the end of his eyebrow is at. And you're going to see me slope it around his ear and drop it towards the back. And what this allows the fade to do is fit his head shape a little bit better. And I'll stop right behind the ear. And then you'll see me go to the back. And the reason is it allows me to censor the fade in the back a lot more if I do the sides and then the back and meet it in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it, and that's how you're going to see that nice contour shape that drops towards the back. And now I'm going to go ahead and flip my trimmer around and bald the rest of it out. And you want to make sure that you're allowing the trimmer to do the work, that you're not pressing into their skin or digging into it really hard where it causes irritation. So let the clipper do the work, let it glide to get a nice comfortable shave. Now I'm going to use my shavers to get it a little bit closer to the skin. What this is going to do is add some longevity to the haircut, and also take that fade to a whole nother level. I accidentally forgot to film the balding out process on this side, but you guys get the gist. So going on to the next step, I'm going to go with my clipper all the way open. And I'm keeping that same exact shape as I made with my bald line, and you'll see as I go towards the back, I'm making the guideline slightly thicker. Reason being is because the back of the head has a lot more surface area and canvas to blend, so I want to give myself room. And now to get rid of that line in between the bald and the open, I'm going to use my notches. So I'm going to go in closed and I'll open it gradually as I get towards the top of that guideline. And once you get through all the notches, it should be pretty much blended out, and then you always go back in detail. And you'll notice too, I'm using a lot of the corner of the blade. And you'll see my thumb opening and closing the notches as needed, just trying my best to get that line as blended as possible. And throughout your process of cutting hair and fading, you always just want to remind yourself to stay patient and trust the process, because in the end it will come together. And you can see slowly but surely the line is coming out. But right here, there's a line that the clipper couldn't get out, so I'm using the corner of my trimmer and just flicking at that line, trying to get it as blended as possible. Now right here, I'm going to go ahead and set in my next guideline with my 1-guard all the way open. And again, I'm going to keep that same shape, make sure I'm dropping it towards the back. Just staying real consistent with it. And you'll see me right here, right under that one open. I closed it up, and this is a one close. And what I'm doing here is lightening up that line, so when I do come back with a half guard, it'll be slightly easier to blend out. Now going on to the next step, we're gonna go with our 2 guard all the way open. And this will be the biggest guard that we use. But when we do this, you wanna make sure that you're flicking out as you get up to the length on top, because we are gonna follow it up with clipper over comb, but we don't wanna make it harder than it needs to be. So we're trying not to make a harsh line, and we're flicking out as much as possible. But again, we're keeping that same shape, we're staying real consistent with it. Make sure you're always combing the hair, allowing it to lay in the direction it wants to naturally. And be conscious of not going up too high. Now right under that, we're gonna go with our 2 guard closed, just to lighten that up a little bit. Now for that line that I just pointed out, we're gonna go with our 1.5 all the way open, and we're just attacking that line, and then you'll see me close the lever as needed. And right here we're blending down, and right here you see me close it, and you'll see slowly that line is starting to disappear and come together. Now for this last line, we're gonna go with our half guard all the way open, and then we'll close it gradually as needed again. So we're going in open here, using a lot of the corner, so we're not taking too much hair off, and then you see me close it up, and that line will start to come out. And as you guys can tell from the background, your boy is back in the shop, which is super exciting. I'm gonna have a lot more content here dropping for you guys, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and also that notification bell, so when I do post, you're not missing out. You can check it out and catch some gems. But we're still doing the same thing, using a lot of the corner of the blade, going in open, closing it gradually, sorry. And that blend is coming together nicely. Now all that weight that you see towards the ridge area, towards the top, we are going to get rid of that with clipper over comb here in a second. But you'll see in the back, it naturally has a lot of crevices and dark spots. So you'll see me take a little bit extra time detailing that area. But this is my 1 guard all the way open, just attacking some dark spots with the corner of the blade. And this is just detail, guys. This is what's going to separate your haircut from everyone else's and get that Instagram level quality. But I'm using the corners, attacking those dark areas. This is my 1.5. Trying to make sure that blend is consistent throughout the entire head. And you can see everything under that weight is coming together nicely. Now for clipper over comb, I go in and flare out. So I went in, flared out, and anything hanging out of the comb is what I get rid of. And you can see it's blending into the curls that he has on top. Very nice. If you guys like this haircut so far, comment down below what you're thinking. If this is adding any value to you, if you've learned something, let me know down in the comments. And again, I'm doing the same thing in the back. Going in, flaring out, and getting rid of anything hanging out of the comb. Now right here, to blend a little bit better, these are my thinning shears. So I'm going in with my comb and just lightening up any areas where there's dark spots or weight, and making sure that transition is nice and fluid and consistent. So I'm going with the grain of the hair against the grain of the hair, just trying to get that blend as smooth as possible. See, because you can see in the back of his head, it starts to grow in an opposite direction towards his occipital bone. So I had to go back with my 2 guard all the way open and just lighten it up a little bit. And now getting into the lineup, I like to section off the curls on top and then section off a portion for the hairline. So I went ahead and pinned it up, and all those baby hairs, I'm going to go with my one guard all the way open to lay those down. Now I'm going to go with my alcohol, wipe it, and then go with my hairspray to lock the hairline in place. Make sure you brush it, blow dry it, and now I'm going to go ahead and line it up. And with my arches, I always start at the top, go to the bottom, and then meet it in the middle, and that's what gives me that nice round shape on the arch area. And then I'll go to the middle of my hairline and work to his right corner. And you'll see as we line it up, it kind of just frames the entire haircut, and it takes that fade and makes it pop out a lot more. And you want to make sure you're keeping it as natural as possible while getting it as crispy as possible. So I'm making sure that I'm keeping it as natural as I can. And you can see as we just detail that line, man, that haircut is getting taken to another level. And now to enhance his corners, we're gonna go with our airbrush and our Sean Cuts Hair card. And I'll have the link to this card in the description. He also has a YouTube channel at Sean Cuts Hair. But I'm just putting it along the hairline, and this is just filling in any light areas and taking it to another level. And we are gonna follow it up with hair fibers, because I feel like the hair fibers give it a nice natural dry look, opposed to the kiss, which gives it a nice wet look. So I'm using hair fibers just to make it look a little bit more natural. And the reason I use the card is because I don't want a whole bunch of excess hair fibers. So now I'm gonna just go ahead and reline it. And yo, that blend is looking crazy. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this blend and this lineup so far. I think it looks pretty tough. And now blending into his beard, he barely has any because he shaved it recently. But we're just gonna blend into what he has. And now we're gonna go ahead and line it up. Be conscious of not pushing in the back of his beard too much. And now we're gonna line it up along his jawline, which is what the client preferred. And then get rid of all that hair on the bottom of his neck. Now when lining up the beard, like I do with the arches, I start at the top and then go to the bottom and meet it in the middle. And that also gives me the nice round shape on the beard. But since his beard is so light, we're not gonna really make it too sharp. You know what I mean? Because there's not a lot to work with. But I always start at the top, go to the bottom, and meet it in the middle. But this is what my client came in looking like, and we saved his life, brought him back with a nice mid fade. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, hit that notification bell, comment down below what you thought of this haircut. Go ahead and follow me at Dreclipperhands for some more dope barber content. But yeah, family, love, thank you for watching. Catch y'all next time.